Again, without kikikach, and not ketakiyach, I can have two options. Or that she can be megal, she can do the Maisa Kiddushin, or he can do the Maisa Kiddushin and she's mevatel herself to him. Kiveiger is saying, okay? Why not? The Torah didn't say he needs to do it, kikach. If it wasn't kikach and not kitakiyach, so then what? So then she also can do the Maisa Kiddushin? Or he's doing it and she's mevatel herself to him. Understand? So from Kiveir's mashma, like the second side, that if it wasn't kitikach, she can do the Maisa Kiddushin, and I just need his rotzoin. And when he says later on, he took him to Kiddushin, it will be good. Good, the Kiddushin, because they saw her lekicha, and they saw Maisa Kiddushin.
Why? From where we know that?
Chazonish says didn't say so. Chazonish says that her Maisa is mevatel to his Maisa. What? No, in the Rashba, he said, look, when he brings the one page before, he says, "Aval dasa Rashba." When she says "Arenim Kodeshes Lecho," and he gives the paulos on him. So why not Sanuva Mula Kiddushin? Because he gormo lo lekiddushin שיוכלין דילה המיר דידו להביא הדין הדאוב לשל קידושין. יכול שכל הלקוחים שלו. לפיכך, נפקמיני says, הסוכין will be good. He's saying, the Chazon is saying a little bit different. Chazon says, when he gives and she speaks under him, says, "Arenin mekucho lecho, arenin kodeshes lecho." She's really not grabbing the puller for herself. She's not doing the maise. She's mevatel to him. So the only problem is, what is the problem? So why is not good? Because lemaise, if it wasn't for her amira, we won't know from his maise that Hashem kiddushin. So when she's megal not him, it's cheson in him. And asukim will solve it. So I don't need her. I'm asukim boy soinya, and then he gives, and then she speaks. We don't care because the mice, her dibur doesn't produce any pula. Elamai is a lack of him. We don't know about him. We know. So basically, Chadanis really is answering the steer. He's not talking about the steer, but he answers the steer that really the fact she speaks doesn't do the pula for herself. She says, "I'm going to go to." The only problem is that since it's not clear from him, because maybe the Shem Matono, and she cannot megale, or if she's megale, it's a yikach and kitikach. So therefore, she cannot megale, and him he also can, because there's no, from him we don't have edus. She cannot megale, and him we don't have edus. That's the way the Chazon is saying. Kivega is saying differently. Kivega is saying that if it wasn't for yikach, we don't. Who says that he needs to do the ma'aseh? She can do the ma'aseh. And when she spoke, she did the ma'aseh. He gave, and she, when she took the money for the sake of kiddushin, so she did the ma'aseh. There's not only giving, also taking is considered ma'aseh. When she takes for the sake of kiddushin, she speaks. She took money for the sake of kiddushin. She spoke. So it's a full ma'aseh. Elamai need his rotzoy for the sake of kiddushin. If he says everyone, that's what he wants. She'd be good. And Eidim see the ma'aseh kiddushin. It's only because the Torah says kitikach, that she's not part of the ma'aseh. Because he needs to do the ma'aseh, not her. And her taking the money and talking is on the ma'aseh kiddushin. So we need to see him. Where's him? Since we don't know that he's giving Hashem kiddushin, so then there's a chison in the ma'aseh and Eidim sing the ma'aseh.
But if they didn't see it and he said it afterwards, what, it's Lamar Freya. Lamar Freya, and then it's basically the mice is what kind of, not in the Shas mice.
So even though he spoke later on, he says that's what I wanted. It's considered kiddushin below 80. Below 80, without 80. Again, let's go. But we have him machloekes with the Chazon Ish and the Reb Kiva Eiger. How do you solve the stira? Although the Reb Kiva doesn't, the Chazon Ish doesn't speak about the stira, but he explains the Rashba. It's not the Rashba. So again, according to the Chazon Ish, if he gives and she speaks, she's mevatel her peula to him. She's not meyaches the peulas ma'aseh kiddushin to herself. So even if she speaks, the ma'aseh kiddushin is still him. The only problem is we don't know what he wanted. Maybe he gave l'shem matana. So and her gilui cannot be. She cannot megale. The email is b'chisoron and kiddushin b'leidi. According to Kiveg is different. If it wasn't kiikach, I would say that her netila, her taking and speaking, is a full ma'aseh kiddushin that they didn't see. And you need a gilui of his rotzon. They don't want to megale rotzon. It's okay, and he's out of the ma'aseh kiddushin. He's out. She's in. She took the money and spoke. She didn't give the money, but she took the money for the sake of kiddushin and spoke. You have a full ma'aseh kiddushin. Elamai, you need the rotzon of the husband. So megale later on. But because there is a kiikach or kitikach, he needs to do the ma'aseh, not her. So when she accepted and talked, there's nothing. You need him. And him, you don't know. And since you don't know, because they will share matono, so therefore it's chisoron and kiddushin v'leidi. This is the way of Kiveg is saying. He polarized and much more strong. Yes.
So if she speaks before
Explain what the omer.
he speaks before that he gives, it will
Yes.
be okay. It will be okay. Because it's not the matone. There is no topic of matone.
If she speaks before he gives,
Yeah.
So-
Yeah.
yeah.
So it's gonna be okay because there's no topic.
Why not? Why it should be okay?
Because there is no topic in the matone.
Who says?
Because he gives, in the moment that he gives, we don't know his cover. And
Right.
he says, I don't even know the
Right.
Okay, so.
Right. But when she speaks before,
And he gives, so it's according to the map at the beginning of the.
that's the pashtus. That's the pashtus, not vadai. Not edus reya and shmir. The Ran says so. The Ran says that when he gives, when she's in the name of Acherim, when she speaks and then he gives, there's no sov, it's not sad, there's a matone. We also saw that Kivegi brings the prisha like that. In the Yad Ramah we say that. But that's in the Ran and the Acherim of the Ran and Yad Ramah. But here he doesn't say so. The Rajva didn't say so. The Rajva says clearly that Benosanu Vomroi, even if she said Omer before and he gave upon her words, there is a chison and edus of the Eidim. Although Mistami says, his language of the Rajva is Mistami, he gave, what's the language of the Rajva? He says, the Rajva says, what is dvorim marim? The dvorim marim means that's a simple thing the way I look at it. You have to go to
So what is the difference in the Rashba and the Rashba says only the Sonia?
no Rashba Chazon Ish. Chazon Ish, Pshat in the Rashba and the Reb Kiva Pshat in the Rashba. Right. When she said Kodesh Lechol, the mice are still on him. So without, if we knew clearly that he's giving the Shekinah is okay, but this is someone Shematono, so her gilu is no good. But they can so that has to come him, and therefore it's Chazon and Eidim. This is the Chazon Ish. Kivega learns that when the Avamina was that when she takes the money from him and speaks, she did the Kiddushin can be her. If it wasn't for Kiti Ikach, which means what was the Avam, what the Raj wants the Mafkia? That the Maise, that she cannot do the Maise, or or Yachas. According to the Chazon Ish, there's no Avamina that she can do a Maise Kiddushin. It's only that is the Yachas on him, and we don't know him, and she cannot make Gale. But according to the Kiva Eger, the Havamina wasn't Kiikach. She could do the Maisa. Where's the Maisa? When he gave it, she spoke. Where's the Maisa? She received and spoke as her Maisa. And therefore, no. You mean as it wasn't Kiikach, the Maisa Kiddushin doesn't have to be through him, can be through her. And the receiving and the talking is a Maisa. And his Rotzon is outside of the Maisa. And Eidim saw, they Eidim see Eidus Kiddushin. They want to mafkia that her receiving and speaking is not a Maisa. He needs to do the Maisa. So him giving and him speaking. So when he gives and she spoke, we don't know why he gave it for. So he made as a Chesson in the Kiddushin, in the Kiddushin. Yes.
The Torah wouldn't say Kiika.
Yes.
What would say a Torah?
According to Kiva Eger, she can do the Maisa.
That is not in the Torah. Let's say that is not.
שדות בכסף יקנו, ויוצא חינם אין כסף, כסף לא נזל כסף לאחר. We learn from עמו עברייה. That אין כסף לא דון זה, but יש כסף לא דון אחר, that the father can marry his daughter with כסף, he may also an adult. It's like Nara is from a pasuk. I mean, Ktana Nara is from a pasuk, and Buvogera is from a Svara, but Matzinu. We don't have a pasuk for it. What?
That she can do a Maisa.
That's Adarabbe. The Gemara said we only add the pasuk and kesef lo danzeh v'lacher. She also can give them kiddushi. That's what the Gemara says. Mali kesef didei, mal kesef dido. And Rashi says in Av Gimel Amud Dal Gimel Beis, Kes came in the kesef with issues. Since kesef does issues, makes a connection, a relationship, a partnership. Mali didei, mali dido. Yes.
Like, you need just some institution that puts her in.
No, we're not saying that. That's not what the Chazon is saying. It's not what Kiveg is saying. Kiveg is saying, if it wasn't for Kiyikach, I would need a Maisa Kiddushin, but the Maisa could be even her. How? When he gives to her, she receives it from Mekachomemka, the Maisa. So the Maisa normally is not the Maisa normally is the Moicher. The Moicher needs to do a Maisa. So normally is the woman, and the woman receives the money, and she speaks. So receiving and speaking is a full Maisa. What about him? He's like the koine. Who is he? Like he can Galilee running out and he's out of the loop. He's out of it. He can show of the Maisa. So according to the beginning, when it wasn't Kiikach, I would say the Maisa Kiddushin is on her, and that's a normal way I'm earning now. And that's a normal way of Mekachomemka. It's only because of the post. This is not my words. This is the Granat. We'll see today. The Granat says that if it wasn't for Ikach, Ikach breaks all rules of Mekachomemka. Because Ikach makes that the koine makes a kinyan. When do we heard that the buyer makes the kinyan? He's the who the hell are you? The seller needs to the selling, right? And we machlif. We say the koine, which is the husband. He makes the Maisa Kiddush. Everything else is only because of Ikach. If it wasn't Ikach, I'm using the Rana, putting it into the Kivega. If it wasn't Ikach, I would say the woman receiving, which is the Moicher, receives the money, so he's willing to sell himself. So normal Kirch Mekachomemka, the seller makes the kinyan. Right. Now, not. Kinyan Kesef, not Kinyan Mashiach and Akbar. Kinyan Kesef is that when the koine gives the money to the Moicher receives the money and he's makne the chayfetz. So him receiving the money in the akno is the Kinyan. He says, no, you have to give me the money. Otherwise I won't makne to you. But who does the Maisa Kinyan? By Mekachomemka the Moicher. The Moicher receives the money and he's makne the object. By Karka, it's the Karka. By money, only by a goy it works, by a Jews, or the Rabbanon. But Doraisa Kesef Koinen, Chachom say Meshicha, or Meshicha is the Doraisa Lechatchil. But Lemaisa by Karka, that's the way it works. The one receives, the Samoiche receives the money and he's makne. So Kivek says, if it wasn't Ikach, her receiving the money, no Sanuva, it's a full Maisa Kiddush on her side. but she took the money l'shem kiddushin, and she spoke l'shem kiddushin, and she's marking her body, and they're eating so full ma'aseh kiddushin. What about his rotzoin? The point is rotzoin is it's nai, it's a side thing. As long as he said later on that he wants to be good. Arms a Torah and says kiyika, and he needs to do the ma'aseh. So where's this ma'aseh? After no clearly, yes.
Didn't say this in the prayer. That's the issue.
Without kiyika in the Torah.
No, he doesn't mean, he doesn't.
He said, I'll read the Lashon. Listen, my friend, Rabbi Yosef Chaim. I'm read the words and then you tell me your meaning in the words. So let's read the word and tell me what he means in the words. You have to read the words and tell me what you mean in the words. Go ahead. It's your courtesy. Go ahead. You love kitikach. Or if shalom, what's that kitikach? Without kitikach. He love kitikach. If it wasn't the Torah's mafkia her, means we don't care. Which means the kitikach is lav davka. And maybe we follow, or if shalom, the kosher of kiddushin, when she takes a kiddushin, ave ma'aseh kiddushin. She receives, it's her ma'aseh. Her keven l'shem of kosher noteles. It's not the kosher noise, not him giving. Her taking and her speaking is a ma'aseh kiddushin. You need his rotzoin. He can say later on. I the Torah says kitikach lav davka. Kitikach means without the puzzle, or without the drosha, that it's a ikar. Without a drosha, that is a special night that needs to do the ma'aseh. Without the drosha means we follow the normal ma'aseh kinyonim. I've called it a kula. The root does, I'm adding to them today. This is my adding. This is all, it's my words is they cannot proceed to the result. So without kitikach, I would say we should follow normal ma'aseh kinyonim. Normal ma'aseh kinyonim, who does the ma'aseh kinyon? The meicher. So you need his rotzon of the loikeach. Okay, if they saw the loikeach giving the money, he can tell us later on that he agreed to it, and it's considered that the aiding saw ma'aseh kiddushin. Palms are there, and it says, let's see what it says in it. I will show you my proof. Rabbi Yosef Chaim. Listen, and what does he say? Well, זה כוסה מתחילה, תאסוף וקו השם גם כן בכלל כי תיקח, ולקיחוס של קידושין למקרה מa'aseh קידושין. אוקיי, ולא זה כוסה, מתחילה. תאסוף וקו השם גם כן בכלל כי תיקח. When the Torah says ki yikach, and she speaks, she takes and speaks, it's part of the meal. The Torah says yikach and not ki tikach, which saying what? When she takes, it's not a ma'aseh kiddushin. Elodim aynu yoydu shekiddushin noisen, אבל גם הרב הקודש הסלידה, because we know חשיב לו ששם מתונה, ולא יהיה כאן ma'aseh kiddushin. ולקיחוסו אינו כלום, דאבה כי תיקח. There is hikach and not kitikach. Which means that the Reb Kiva was saying, the Rav was saying, if it wasn't for the Torah saying that the woman, the seller, cannot be a ma'aseh kiddushin, so she can do the ma'aseh kiddushin. But now the Torah says, no, she cannot, only him. Depends on him. So I need to know. If I don't know it's kiddushin without eating. Simple.
The first Rambam that the Rebbe Kiva showed us,
Yes.
is before Matan Torah, היה בן אדם הולך לשוק מדבר עם הקונסה, או לא יודע.
Right.
Maybe it takes like that it's like the Kenyan must be doing like in a regular Kenyan. She's not the Kenyan because she's selling herself. No, it's in the issues like he has to do the mindset even before Matan Torah. So I wouldn't think opposite without Ikika. If Ikika doesn't wrong, the Rambam says before Matan Torah, Adam היה פוגש אישה בשוק, מדבר עם הקונסה. So I said, even before Matan Torah, it's from the husband to the woman. I wouldn't say that, no, it's like a Kenya.
Yeah, but it's of dafka. Before Matan Torah, the derech of a man is to search for a woman. That's a derech. But it's not dafka. It's not part of that's the only way of it. So can it be also her? Adarabe. The derech of the buyer to look for the sellers, or the sellers look to buyers. Depends on the situation. who's desperate, who's not desperate. I mean, but who does the Maisakin and the same?
He has to say it's Lemafreya. If you Magala the Das afterwards.
Yes. Yes.
So who's Lemafreya is Mahoka, whether he has
Because it doesn't work when the 80 are part of the Maisa Kinyan, so then the 80 Kiddushin of Kiyum need to do in the Bishas Maisa. They need to see a Bishas Maisa, Mafreya doesn't work. But when the woman is the Maisa Kiddushin and he's out of it, it's just a Tanai, a condition. And it's Chalik, so we have a Chalik. He was there, he gave the money. Elama, you need a detail, his Rotzoin. So give me later on. But the moment the Eidim saw a human being, they saw the seller giving the money. And as the Rajbo says, Mistama, as the language of the Rajbo is Advori Marim, the Dvori Marim, the thing shows that he's giving her, that's what's enough, Eidim.
So that Tanai that he has Magala.
So it's a Tanai, Tanai is not going to get to the Eidim Kiyum. Eidim Kiyum need to see the Shoyers of Kiddushi. Now we see one second. I just want to finish to him. You're right. Without the steal, without we see this halacha, where we came up with this chiddush. I won't say it myself. I will say like you. But since we see that when I speak to the woman, and I don't know if she understood what I said, she can megala later on. I leave it to him. It's the halacha. And he cannot megala on. What's the chiddush? Must be that the woman is out of the picture. She's just a t'nai. I need a lot. Without a woman, you have a kiddushin. And if the woman is not mitzvah, kiddushin has to be daito. So it's an intrinsic t'nai. It's t'nai kiyum. Still, since I'm seer there receiving, it's only a chashash. Maybe she doesn't know, and I don't have edus and shmiyah. Okay, so yeah, she's out of the edus. As long as I saw the shoyresh is enough. So because of this two halachos, we have to come out to the schira. I won't say that. I would say like you. Everything is included. The mice, although he does the mice of kiddushin, but she's part of it, and it's all part because otherwise you don't have her. It's on the mice. So Rotzen and Das also be part of that. That's a simple song. But since we see now halacha, that when I give a kiddushin, I say I have milkuchosi, I have skukosi. She understand what she said, what he said, but he asked her later on. She's understood. It's okay. The Eidim knew for sure she understood. Not all women understand. So it works. Must be that if the mice is on the husband, her das, it's a side thing. Like we saw the Ran, she's mafkir daito. She's not even actually cannot be. She has to be passive, not active. So therefore, what?
Made a dimion from to know and to say just like over there. Also,
since the same way, leave the MS when the mice kiddush is on him, her das is not nogea. Comes Reb Kiva is also opposite. If it wasn't the post with the mice is on him, she can do the mice. And this that we don't care as long that we know he gave the money and she did the mice lekicha, kabbalah of the kesef. And she's not going to she did the full mice and Eidim sorry have a full mice Eidim and the mice kiddush. Comes the teller says kiikach. The mice has to do with him. Since I don't know from him, even though I've only married lekach, but I don't know for sure. Chesor and Eidu Sri and Shemir. That's what's no good. The only thing is, I want to clarify what to give again. Listen carefully what I want to ask. So I don't want to ask, I want to clarify. Now that we're saying that the Torah says kihikach, so what do we need in kihikach? We need him to give, and we know for sure the Eidim need to see that that's his rotzon. 1 second. So the Eidim need to see that's his rotzon, or you need him to speak mitzad the gavra of Amira of kihikach. Yeah, once I want to go to the Birkas Shmuel and the Kivega. This is it. True. But the Dibur is part of the mice. Listen. Why the Raj must to come on? Okay, I understand that without Kitika, Yikach, and Tikach, her Kabbalah and her speaking is the Maisa Kiddush and his Rotzon is a Tnain and Yavedikiyum. But now that the Torah said Kiyikach and not Kitikach, so what do we say? That when he gives, he doesn't speak. What's the chesoron? Chesoron is Eidim, or the chesoron is he doesn't have a full Ma'ase Kicha. He didn't do a full Maisa Kicha. The Birkas Shmuel said it's a full Maisa Kicha. No, so the Rashba in the beginning said that. So why the Rashba, we didn't answer the question, why the Rashba has to add the Chison and Edim? Oh, so I tell you. So you must say like us. We have to say like our teretz. That since at Vorimarim, so mitzad the Gavra, when he gave and she spoke unto the Rashba, but she spoke before and then he gave. So mitzad the Gavra at Vorimarim is enough mitzad the Gavra that he did a Maisa Kicha. It's only mitzad the Eidim that don't see a Maisa Kicha. That's what you have to say. Why did I say I'm adding Pshat and Kivega? So which means what we answered yesterday is not an answer. It's Kivega has to say that. So it's not to say that too. Again, we said the answer the Stirn in the Rashba that the first Rashba is talking about that he gave and she spoke. A moment or after. The second Rashba talking about that she spoke before. So therefore, when he gives that volume, so he gives upon her speaking. That's the reality, that the atmosphere that he comes into, and he makes a decision at that atmosphere to give means the dibur is intrinsic in his giving. You don't have to speak; it's built in his giving. So therefore, you have dibur, his statement by him giving. Because when he came in, she already spoke. So he gave upon her speaking. That means that's his rotzon there. She clarified his rotzon. So the rotzon is not empty, not clear. Clarified his rotzon.
How you know it's Rotzen to give? How you know when he gives his Rotzen?
What?
When he gives,
Yes.
it means he's giving because he said to give, or because he's giving. His own giving.
No, it's just create an atmosphere.
Ah, but like open.
No, since she spoke and then he gave upon the speaking, so it's not. She's not helping him. It's all him. In his giving, he made a statement by him giving after her speaking. Upon her speaking, he made a statement that his giving, that's his wish.
Prior that we have to have two separate.
Some.
Why must we make it two separate?
I don't know
Why
what you
must
said.
it be the Rashba is two separate cases.
The Rashba doesn't say two separate cases. We have a steer in the Rashba. The Rashba in the beginning says that when he gives and she speaks, the problem is that the lekuchim, the taking, has to be fully his. And when she speaks, not fully his. That's the first Rashba.
Why can't it be?
1 second. The second Rashba says that when he gives and she speaks, although he's talking about she spoke before, but when he gives and she speaks, although I assume that he gave for the sake of Kiddushin, but the Eidim don't see it. Has to be, as far as the eyes of Eidim, it's not enough that the thing looks like. It has to be Yediyah Vadois. Not looks like, Mukhlat. And have to have Eidim or they see or Yediyah Mukhletas. But when Yediyah is not Mukhletas, it's Chison and Eidim. So we have a problem. The Rashba in the beginning says when she speaks, it's Chison, not him doing full of Maisa, he didn't do the full Lekuchim. And later on he says the problem was when she speaks and he gives, the problem is in the Eidim. How do you explain both? So Kiva Ega answers.
I explain it.
Yes, but doesn't he answer that? Because Sima Masuba, but he's not saying Sima Masuba, he says two Sibas. You're right. He will say Sima Masuba, you're right, but he's saying two Sibos. Two Sibot. Not Sima Masuba, two Sibot. That's the problem. This Siba is true, or this Siba is true. That's a problem here. So the Kiva comes and he answers the first statement of the Rashba that says that all the lekuchim, that the Torah says kikach, and when she speaks, not all the lekuchim is him, which means if it wasn't for kikach, I don't need all the lekuchim to be through him. I can have all the lekuchim to be through her, and by giving and speaking, I still have all the lekuchim by her. Where she only spoke, no. But she received, and she spoke. She received upon what she meant to speak when she speaks. So if it wasn't the kiikach, I would say she have a full ma'aser from her. It says kiikach kol kuchi must be him. Although, and when she and if it wasn't the kol kuchim through him, I have kol kuchim no sanu v'amro. I have kol kuchim by her because I have netila the shkirushin amira. But since the Torah says I cannot have kol kuchim with her, I have to have the kol kuchim alav tluim boy. That I don't have, because maybe he gave l'shem matana. So he made l'zal chesron l'eidim. But we have to come on. Why do we have to come on chesron l'eidim? He didn't give Maybe he didn't give Lashem. Maybe he didn't give Lashem a kiddushim Lashem matonos and kol al-kuchim shaloi. Still, why the Rashba has to come and take him? It's a prior problem. Once again, there's a prior problem to that he didn't do a ma'aseh. What's to come and take him? Must. That's what we should be asking. So Kivay didn't answer that. Let's see what he answers. Show me. He doesn't or he doesn't? Yeah, Ella. We're reading. In the middle, yes. Eladim and Yodim Shekidushin he said.
He's saying it's Isaac voice in.
Yes.
No, it's Isaac voice in. Ella, the Rashim. Here's the answer.
Yes. No, so.
Here's the answer. That's the answer.
What's the
The
answer?
answer is that the Sarah naked.
Why not Chison the Maise?
The answer that Kashmir.
One second. If I'm Choyshet L'Shem Matona, Chison the Maise. I have to come on to Eidi. Not answer.
No.
Unless we answer, we have to answer like we answer. Right. So we have to answer like us. That I know that mitzah the Maise. I'm not Choyshet L'Shem Matona because Advori Marim. It's not the Gavra. Advori Marim. So no Chison the Lekuchim. It's only because mitzah the level of Yedias and Rias Eidim. Maybe the Shem Atona no Sam. And that level, Mimele, as Chison and the Maise Kiddush mitzad the Eidim, and mitzad the Gavra, Advori Marim, so Mimele, Advori Marim, and if I have a full Maise Kiddush, that's what I have to answer. You have to, which means if Kivay didn't answer fully, you have to add the svar, otherwise you didn't answer the kash.
The Molcha says 80 after the Choch. So mainly is mitzad the Gavro and Achinam Yazarotson. Because it's Sobuch the Amir. But mitzad the 80 is not enough. The Sobuch the Amir, you have to have a Choch. Choch is not a Choch. It may be Shemakor. Because 80 have to have not enough in logic, the Amir, and then the Sida Sobuch. But that is not a Choch. It's only can give you a possibility, and there's a Gavro, it's only a possibility. But not a Choch. You have to have a Choch. And then
Good, that's what we said.
it's the vote.
Okay. By the way, before he says something, I saw the granat. I printed the granat. I hope you printed everyone. There's two things we have to see today: the granat and the Birka Shmuel. The Shmuel brings the Chinda Shloimoi, and he answers the stira a whole different way. He learns actually in logic is a better answer, I think, Birka Shmuel, because basically he's saying that the two Rashba are two different subjects. It's not like he puts in one subject and we have a kash. Okay, Grace said whatever he's saying, why we need to say two reasoning, two sibas. It's not answering that. It's still not answering. You have to say, because there's two different stories. Okay, so different stories there. The first case is she spoke while he's giving, and the second case she spoke before. So that's how you have two reasoning and two different cases. But and I saw the Granat. The Granat says, he says, Ve'oi niren. Says two pshatim. One pshat without kiikach, she can do the maise. And now because the ikach, the maise is to him, and therefore it's chison and eidus. Ve'oi niren that the safe of the Rashba is talking about that she spoke before, and Mimele, and as he gave upon the situation, Mimele, it's considered the sin without me, it's a full maise mitzvah. And only chison say.
What's Kovei?
Just because steer in the Rashba, he just says the Rashba against the Gemara. It's a little bit different. But maybe it's stenciled, maybe it's not a duyok, I don't know. Who wrote it?
You don't have Adis on a thing, so it's very
Again?
all as far as you want, but that if you don't have Adis on what you're saying is the basis for the din, so then why does the din happen without the Adin making the thing Kovei? Everything is totally in Adis.
Right. Yeah, but Adis is true. It's true. But I want to ask you a question. If the husband didn't give money, he gave fake money, it's a problem in Eidim or a problem in the Sinas Kesed? It's both. But what's first? Why? What's first? They may answer me. First is he didn't do a Maisa giving. Then after you do, first you have to have a Maisa, then you have Eidus on it to make kind of Maisa. So why the Rashba is talking about Eidim, which is a secondary to make kind of Maisa, when it's a Chesor in the Maisa itself, you do the Lekuchi. Capish? I want you have to print two things. You have to see the Birka Shmuel and the Kanat. Those two things. I want to grind this. I want to grind the Kivega's answer, the Kanat exactly, what's missing, and we'll see with the big Kashmur. So now answer, we'll see what's the best one. Rabbi Hanania ben Akashur, לא רוצה הקדוש ברוך הוא לזק ישראל לפיך. עיר ביותר משלמה לחובץ אמן, תקן יותר בידי, תראה נזכני שמי רבו, לא בוא נגרות מימוסי, מימי חמוסי, חי יכול נגרם בכל ולחום בית ישראל, בא בלום, בא בלום, שמי רבו, שמי לקודשו בריחו, ואילו מקום ורסון שרסון ולכם עשו, אמירות מלמורים ומומי, על ישראל ועל תמיד יוים ותמיד יצל מידי יוים, ועל כל מה דוסקי מאורייך, וזה כאן ישוע עדיין בכל עשר ועשר, יהי לנו לכבוד שלמה רב, ברוכים הבאים דבר הרחמים, וחי נביך וזה נביכו, כל נביכו ושמי ועבורי ומומי, חיים עליהם, ועבורי זוהי ומומי, Said Shlomo Yasema Chamo Shlomo Leib Rabban Zoy Gourmet. כמה כסף אתה כאן?
לא.
הכל הסתדר? אתה לא כסף?
הסתדרנו, גם הבחורים לנו, גם העיתון, מספיק, כן, אבנינר גם הגיע, עשינו רמבול במנגה, נירן הגיע. יונתן אני חושב יונתן הגיע אלכס לייב
the kid Eger, the two Rashbas. So need to read
מה הבעיה שלו? שהוא מבוגר, הוא קצת צריך להוריד אותו, צריך יותר אותו, יוסי הגיע? אני באתי אליו, כן, תודה רבה, לא, תשמעו יותר, עכשיו מאוד, מי עוד? כן, עכשיו, היה אברי, שהוא הגיע, אז הוא ירד, דוד שלמה, גם הוא לא היה מקום, הוא נשאר, לא להגיד, מי עוד קרדילה שהגיע, אשר הגיע, זה בידר הגיע,
say you know it's you don't know it's there. The Yeshivim, that's what I understand. The point of what why he brings up in the shock of the target is to make a point that before everything will be good only because this thing exists. That's why in our case the score that he wants to say, but that's the top of saying that is just to tell you that he has a very good score, but it doesn't.
What do you want to do? And then we need the
אמירה,
it's a function to show you that his score was very good, and only that because
אין דין אמירה כמו בנדורי, אין דין אמירה בקידוש כמו בנדורי, כן, כי זה מוכיח, אבל לא מצד הדיבור.
the kavanah why he wrote.
That's very hard to get one.
Okay.
The top. You use water, then you put it on hot water,
I think he doesn't, I think he doesn't mean precise. I know. I forget that. Maybe doesn't mean, maybe yes, maybe no. This means that, but it's so there, that it means. Moving sore on the side. The function of why he's using that word maybe, because the difference is the function of. No, fine, I'm not. Go ahead, I hear you. Yeah, that's something we just said. Right. What else is it? That doesn't mean it could be that. Right, there's a possibility. That would work. Right, because then he said, but it's not the eater. Since it's possible him or her to do the eater. And so there's on the possibility that she does the eater, so then his function, which is to agree to the thing. The eater, on the possibility that she could obey on him.
Cold, where am I cold?
Right, he's taking a position in a caution.
I don't know, I think I'll. Stressed out. Focus.
We would know this in the Uber. So that, so when I think that it's in times. So this what should be, as if he said, that's the word.
Right.